Hello and welcome to Love and Growth. This is Josh Morris, and today I'm going to talk to you about bridging the gap between success and failure. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. There's just one tiny little change that you can make that can make you go from a downward negative spiral into depression, doom, or an upward positive spiral into joy and happiness and love and everything lovely. Okay, let's dive into it. So what's this tiny change? First of all, if you like videos like this on self-development, love and growth, that sort of thing, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want to get notified of future videos, and click that notification bell as well so you get notified. Ooh, itchy beard, itchy beard, itchy beard. Okay, right. So I found this picture, right, online, and I thought it was very poignant. It made me think. That's the right word. Yeah. There was a picture of an upward spiral and a downward spiral with all the emotions connected to the downward and the upward spiral. And in the middle, there were two critical emotions where you can either go one direction or the other direction. One direction, ironically, went in different directions. Yeah. Anyway, back to the emotions. Right. So the emotion that really switches it, where you go from a down, and if you haven't heard of this whole downward spiral, upward spiral thing, it's like the downward spiral are negative emotions that just cause more negative emotions that lead you into this anxious, depressed, sad sort of thing. Upward spiral emotions are when you feel positive and happy. It fuels that and it makes it go even more. So what's the emotion right in the middle, the turning point, right? So from this chart, it shows that the emotions of just going into the downward spiral, the first emotion, believe it or not, is just boredom. The emotion of boredom, where you just, I'm just bored. Just bored. How often are we bored, right? So that's actually the first emotion of a downward spiral. After boredom, you get pessimism, frustration, overwhelm, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, anger, hatred, insecurity, depression, fear, all these things. It all comes from that initial boredom. So what's the emotion of going into the upward spiral? Well, the first emotion of the upward spiral is contentment, right? So that's really all you need to learn from this video, contentment and boredom. That's the switch. So if you look at just the emotion on your face, for example, boredom is like that. Contentment is just feeling that it's okay. It's like that. Very subtle shift. I'll do it again. Watch. Boredom. Contentment. Contentment is simply being okay with what is. If you're bored, be content with being bored. So contentment, moving into contentment, leads you in an upward spiral. After contentment, hopefulness. You start to hope a little bit more, because if you're okay with how you feel, then you must be okay with how you feel in the future. So that leads to hope. That leads to optimism. That leads to positive expectations. Once you expect positive things, you become more enthusiastic. That's going up the spiral. Enthusiasm for the future and for the present is what passion is made from, and that's the next thing in the spiral. And finally, the top of the spiral, the upward spiral, is joy and empowerment and knowledge and appreciation and love and all the beautiful things. And it all starts with that little switch of being bored to being content. So practice contentment in your daily life, and you'll start to notice that upward spiral, and it just works on its own. But the problem is we don't even know about this. So now that you know that boredom leads to pessimism, leads to frustration, leads to overwhelm, it just goes down the thing. If you notice yourself being bored, switch it to contentment. Try and focus on being content in that moment, and then that will naturally lead you in an upward spiral to all the positive emotions and an amazing life. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was an interesting little tidbit of knowledge, eh? So try and switch your boredom emotion into contentment, and that would fuel the upward spiral. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, have an amazing day, and practice switching boredom into contentment. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. See you soon.